we're streaming, and once we go live, I'll post it, and we'll be recording. All right, we're good. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's get started. In 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
I'm excited, Chris. Movies are back.
It's been a long time coming.
It has been a long
This
time
episode.
coming. Basketball's finally dying down. Football's still been dead. So it's time to get the people what they want, get the movie reviews done. And I was very excited for this movie when it came out. And we knew a movie review was coming for this. So let's get right into it.
Probably the most hyped movie of the year.
Oh, definitely.
Didn't you say?
This is the most hyped movie on this podcast since Godzilla.
Yes, I'd say so.
Yeah. Versus Kong, by the way, not the first one. Versus Kong. So let's get right into it. We're talking about The Batman, and we're doing our movie review. All right. To start us off, I would like to say I want to thank HBO real quick for allowing us to skip their ads.
Mhm.
And it's all HBO ads too, so it's like, hey, if I find this interesting, maybe I'll watch it, but I didn't, and I got to skip it. So I was very happy about that.
Well, also shout out to HBO for just giving us access to this movie. What feels like pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Usually
it felt
it's
like
on like DirecTV Cinema or whatever first, and it takes a while to actually get to a streaming platform.
yeah, it seems like in today's day and age, it's like they go in the movies for a little bit, and then a couple weeks later, it's like they're boom, right on in streaming services. So yeah, shout out to the streaming services for that and HBO. Let's get into the movie though. We don't have a lot of time to spare, so let's get right into it. So the beginning, I like how it caps you up real quick, you know? Like it's like you see some stuff happening, and then you just watch the TV screen for 2 seconds, just like that guy, and you're like, oh, okay, we're in year 2 of Batman. This isn't the Wayne's already dead. Like all this stuff's already done. Now we just get right into the action. It's a great way to start.
I also like to say the music right at the beginning reminds me a little bit of the music from The Dark Knight Rises. So immediately, like I'm in.
You're hooked. Yeah. And that's one thing. So comparing it to the Nolan films, and I think it's only fair to compare it to Batman Begins because it's only one. It's only been one so far. They're planning on 3, so eventually it'll all line up.
Oh, they are? I didn't know they were planning on 3.
I think at least 3 that they're planning on.
Okay.
And I don't know.
All
I
right.
feel like
Well, hang on. If it was supposed to be an origin story, was it? 'Cause that's not what it felt like at all.
It felt
There's
like
no origin.
No, there is no. I think they just skipped that. We already know the Batman origin. You really wanted to see the Batman origin again?
I mean, not necessarily, but if that's what we're comparing it to, then
yeah, that's
it's
fair.
like literally half of Batman Begins is him going across the world and like training with Ra's al Ghul and everything.
Yeah, that's true. But I think this is just more of a. They really emphasize the fact that he is inexperienced as Batman throughout this whole movie, which I liked. And
he's kind of like learning on the job.
Yeah, and you can see it with his facial expressions, just like every time. Like, so a big example was the car chase scene where he's chasing the Penguin. He kind of does the wrong move every time. Like he's not he doesn't follow him very well, and almost loses him multiple times. But you could see it on his face that like he's frustrated. He's like, this is not fun whatsoever.
Penguin, by the way, very smooth behind the wheel.
Oh yeah, and the Penguin, what a performance by Colin Farrell. The fact that he's not a fat guy is insane. And that's all makeup. He looks like a completely different person. Yeah.
I did not realize that. But yeah, he pulls that role off perfectly. I feel like every Falcone too. Like
Oh,
that
all the
guy
mobsters.
is played perfectly.
Yeah, all the mobsters are
All
played
the
really
mobsters are
good.
great, and I love how in all these movies they're like the one set of people who just aren't scared at all of Batman.
Oh yeah, they're the
They
only
just
ones.
talk to him like they're
Yeah,
better than him.
and everyone
Whereas
else.
everybody else is like shaking in their boots.
That's a great point. I love the way that like the cops and uh, like everyone besides Batman. I mean, I guess everyone that talks to Batman besides the mobsters. They all
Hmm.
talk to him like he's just like this insane dude. And I
Hmm.
guess like when you look at it from their eyes, he is. He's just this
But then
mass
they just
dude.
let him do whatever they want or whatever he wants. They'll be like, "Hey, he can't be here,"
Yeah.
and then he'll just look at them and they're like, "All right, like you can stay. Be quick."
That's
It's
a
so stupid.
but like what are you gonna say no to Batman? He's not gonna leave.
Well, yeah, I know.
So
But and then there'll be scenes where like they're talking about him while he's like reading the evidence or looking at the evidence.
and he's like
The
standing
commissioner will
right
come in and
there.
be like, "Gordon, like I backed you up all these years.
Yeah, now you're bringing
You're
this
gonna do
freak
this
in
to
here.
me?"
This
Yeah.
guy standing right there.
And Batman's just like, "It's justice." And they're like, "What?" Like the riddle.
Oh, that yeah, at the beginning, and he's just like, he lies still, and they're like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
he lies
He's
still.
like, that's the riddle. What are you talking
They're
about?
like, "What?"
So, speaking of the riddles, the world's greatest detective, he kind of got a lot of leeway with him. The Riddler, if a lot of things didn't fall his way, the Riddler would not have his plan would not have worked. He had to talk to a lot of people. It wasn't just his clues. He had to get clues from all
Yeah.
over the place. That, like I feel like the plan was there. It made sense, but if he followed based just off the riddles, and like didn't talk to other people, he wouldn't have gotten it.
Oh no, not at all.
So like so the Riddler like he had all these connections.
No, I think the Riddler. Remember, he says that I gave you more credit than you deserved. Like, I think he honestly just thought that he was picking up on everything,
Okay, yeah, all right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
and it turns out Batman's actually a dummy.
He another thing that like you could just say, oh, well, he's only year 2, so you can just blame
That's
it on
true.
that. But
Was this year 0 of Batman?
yes, I think it was year 0 of Batman for the character in the movie. Definitely year 0 on everyone else's expectations.
Yeah. But also, like, these riddles that he's solving, they're just like playful little riddles. They're not like complex detective work. It's like, I
Oh,
don't know. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
riddles that you would see online if you Google like fun riddles.
yeah, and it's
And he's the only one that can solve them. But he solves them instantly. It's like such a weird concept. It's like, oh yeah, this guy's just super good at riddles.
and if you think like yeah, like when he's talking to the DA. And the DA's like
Yeah.
freaking out on the phone about everything, and he's just like reads the riddle for 1 second, and Batman's just like justice,
Yeah, immediately. Rhymes.
crimes, lying.
How much did you take?
Yeah. the So did you like at the beginning the narrator? I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good touch.
I like the narration. I think it fits. And I think it's cool. But his lines are just really corny.
I am
Like the things that he'll say. That's the one that I wrote down. When he says, "But I am the shadows." I'm like,
you know what I thought about when that happened? I was like, but he's not.
break.
He's not the
No.
shadows. Like
No,
you're
Bane
not
is the
everywhere.
shadows.
No, and he's also not everywhere. Like all these guys, like the guys that they're showing the scenes, he's like scared of like the guys on the light post is flickering or whatever, and the guy's scared and runs away. What if he just walks forward?
Right.
Batman's
no one's
not
taking
there.
chances.
No, Batman. But I don't know. I guess I get it. Like the fear.
I think
like,
that is a cool scene at the beginning.
oh, I
When
think
it
it's a
goes
cool
down
scene
and then
too.
the light goes up.
I think it's a cool scene too because you see the criminal's reaction to
Hmm.
the bat symbol and them just literally shitting their pants because
Yeah.
the bat symbol.
Except for the clown guys.
Yeah,
Who,
and
when he shows up, they're like, "Who's this guy?"
yeah, that's what I wrote that
Where
down.
have you
He
been?
like what he wrote it down. Oh yeah, he beats up the one guy and the guys go, "It's him!" Like it wasn't. It didn't think it was him 5 minutes ago. Who else did you think it was? Like, is there? I want to know.
He's
Is there
in a
other?
bat suit.
Yeah. Is there
It's
other? Is
pretty
there other people running
recognizable.
around that they have to go? It's him when he
Oh,
beats up this
no.
leader. That was I love the fight scenes in this movie because they're not the Nolan film ones where it's like it's longer and it's like he's not fighting Bane one-on-one.
Mhm.
But it seems a little more like the video games. I don't know if you ever played the Arkham video
No, I
games, but
haven't.
you're taking down like 5 people at once,
Mhm.
jumping from person to person.
Well, this scene was like the scene in The Dark Knight where, like, right at the beginning,
yeah.
where there's like the drug deal with what's his name, Scarecrow,
Yeah,
and
and
he shows up and he like lands on the van.
what's the difference between you and me?
I'm not wearing hockey pants. Yeah.
That was very reminiscent of that scene. And
The other problem I had is I kept comparing things. Anything that was remotely similar,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I remember this from The Dark Knight.
yeah, like like when he tells him like you're not my father. It's like, yeah, all right, we've seen this before.
That scene is so ridiculous.
You didn't like it?
Father Alfred.
Oh yeah.
No, that's a horrible scene.
When he's like,
He's talking to him like he's 15 years old.
yeah, he is. The comparing wise, what other things did you notice that were egregious on the comparing?
Like things that made me mad.
I guess. Yeah, things that like just weren't just simple Batman things. Cuz like it's a Batman.
Well, I mean, in the same scene, he doesn't say I'm Batman. Like I still have a problem with that. I don't know why you switch that up.
Why you go to
That's
with
like-
vengeance instead?
Yeah, why?
And it's funny,
And
he
how,
doesn't
like-
he doesn't refer to himself as Batman at all besides when the letters are addressed to him.
Yeah,
It's the only
and
time he
then
refers to
like
himself as Batman.
Catwoman and Penguin called him Vengeance, which I think is super weird.
I thought that was funny.
I don't
Especially when
think
the
it's funny at all.
Penguin's like, "Oh, Mr. Vengeance over here." I thought that was hilarious. But
I know, but it's not a name.
no, it's not. It's not a name. And yeah, I could see why. I don't know. I guess they just wanted to switch it up a little bit and use vengeance. And then
guess.
the line
But, like
later.
that's one of the things that you just stick to.
But I think it's
That's what we want to see. We
but they
want to
used.
say.
Yeah, they wanted to.
So
say
then you can
Batman.
compare everyone that's been Batman saying I'm Batman.
That's true.
But
But I think the point of it was to then tie it into the end when the Riddler guy says, "I'm vengeance,"
right, yeah,
and Batman's like, "Oh, I gotta change my ways."
right.
So I think that's kind of what the point was. But you're right.
Right.
They did drive it home a little much
Oh.
on the vengeance side.
Gordon also, like Gordon was the most useless boob ever. He
Yeah.
literally does nothing. At
Yeah,
least
Gordon
in
didn't
the
do much.
Dark Knight trilogy, he's like kind of in the line of fire.
I was gonna say
like, doing
major
stuff.
downgrade on Gordon. I
He
like
literally
the
does nothing.
I like the guy. I like the actor. I
Mhm.
like some of the lines. I like the way he talks with Batman. But you're right. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
always so behind.
He's a second late every time. Every time.
He's like, wait. So this is what's going on, and Batman just looks at him.
Oh yeah, it's
Hilarious.
throughout the whole movie. He's just like, so Falcone's the rat, and Batman's like, yeah, he's already dead,
It's like,
buddy.
dude,
Yeah,
we're
it's
like, we're like 3 steps behind here. It's really funny though.
it
So I did appreciate those little moments where Batman just looks at him.
he does that
he
to a
says
lot.
something that's so obvious.
The way that
He's
Batman
like in there
looks
for
at
people who aren't good at following movies,
Yes.
just so
Yes,
he can
people to
say
pick up the
something. People are
pace.
like, oh, okay, so that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Got it. So you don't have to ask questions.
I think that's necessary. There's a lot of people,
Yeah,
especially
I guess so.
especially in a riddle movie, that are gonna get confused. So
Mhm.
you gotta have that character to spice it up. I love just. There's so many scenes where Batman just looks at someone and I laugh. Because it's just like his little slitty eyes that are just like, because they're painted black, and it's just like he just looks at him and just like doesn't say a word,
Uh-huh.
and they're just like, I have no idea what to do right now.
Yeah.
They're all just like so scared.
He does it. Well, it's every cop scene when it's like a big group of cops.
Oh
And
yeah,
they'll like say something about him, and he'll just stare at them. Like, all right, well, whatever, dude.
So I thought when you look at all the Batman so far, and we were comparing them, and so I thought he was a little skinny for Batman.
Yep. I wrote this down too. I said I refuse to believe that Robert Pattinson is Bruce Wayne. It just doesn't fit. He's more of like an 18-year-old kid.
That
Like, I just think
he
Twilight.
he seemed like a teenager in this movie, but they need to give him a better haircut. The long sweaty mess that was on top of his head was not good.
No, yeah, he looks like a theater kid.
And
like trying to decide between the state school and like the small liberal arts college up in Massachusetts. That's what he looks like.
the fact that the like people are like, oh, like, you know, him hiding away from the Bruce Wayne stuff, it's not, you know, whatever. I liked it in the sense that he doesn't have enough time. Like, if you look at his journals, like, he's just like, he's always journaling, he's looking at other stuff. He really just doesn't have enough time to be Bruce Wayne right now. And that, I think, will eventually come in either later movies or other shit. Like, eventually he will learn how to be the billionaire and help people as well. But I kind of like the aspect of, like, we're just doing Batman, man. We're just doing Batman.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. It's just when he is Bruce Wayne, he just looks like...
Yeah, and could they make him look more like a bitch in the Falcone scene?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, he's talking to Falcone, like, Falcone was the one... I mean, I guess we don't know if he killed his dad or not, but...
No, because Falcone tells him that he also believes everything that he hears.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the first...
Falcone tells him that Maroni killed his dad, and then Alfred is like, yeah, I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure it was Falcone.
I like the best part about that scene is so Alfred gets blown up, which I like that scene a lot. I like how he calls him and you're anticipating it. You're like, "Oh, pick up the phone, Alfred." And then you're like, "Oh, it's an hour ago." And it makes sense.
Yeah, when it zooms out.
Yeah.
And at first I'm like, the lady's on the phone and I'm like, why didn't she call him immediately? Or why is she still answering the phone after there's an explosion? And then it like zooms out. I was like,
yeah. And I like how they're like we were trying to get a hold of you. We just didn't know where you were. They're like, no one knows where this person is, and all of a sudden Batman shows up, and like no one has any questions. No one's like, maybe this Bruce Wayne guy. Not even the Riddler. Like the whole end of the movie.
I know.
They're talking to each other, and he's Bruce.
Yeah.
And it's like a perfect like, oh, he got him. Like he got him good. And then you're like, nah, the Riddler's just a dummy too. He just doesn't like Bruce Wayne.
That's the reoccurring theme in every movie, which is so funny that no one can figure it out. It seems like it's kind of obvious.
It's right, too obvious. It's like the Batman's been here for 2 years. We haven't seen Bruce Wayne in 2 years. I wonder what's going on.
It's like, all right, come on, people.
And it's like, man, this Bruce Wayne guy doesn't sleep ever. He looks all scarred all the time. I wonder what he's doing at night.
Also, like, the Batsuit is very advanced, and he drives around all these like incredible vehicles.
Oh, and has all these gadgets. Technology. Yeah.
Like, how much? Like, no, just average schmuck is driving this stuff around. Like, the Batmobile in The Dark Knight is a Lamborghini. It's like coated with armor and like military grade weaponry.
What was your thoughts on the Batmobile in this movie? I thought it was sweet. Thought it was cool.
I feel like we didn't see enough of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we could have used more of it.
And I still don't think it was as cool as the last one.
Oh no, definitely not.
The last.
Also, you got to be careful when you say the last one, because there was 2 Batman movies before this and between The Dark Knight. The Ben Affleck Batman.
Oh, I didn't even watch that.
Yeah, I figured you didn't, but that's why I'm saying you got to be careful for the audience out here.
Yeah,
when you refer to the last one.
Well, yeah, just know that if Ben Affleck is Batman, I'm not gonna watch it. There's actually the fighting Superman was the problem I had with that whole premise.
That movie sucked. It really.
Yeah, I could have told you that without seeing
it. The one thing I thought was cool with this is you learn everything through Batman. There's nothing that Batman doesn't know that you know, which I think is cool.
Yeah,
like
I did think the first person take on it was cool because that was something that hadn't been done before.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes where it shifts into that first person view, like at the beginning when he's or actually no, that's the Riddler, but while he's driving the car, there's a couple first person scenes, there's a couple other ones. But yeah, watching him like learn throughout the way is pretty cool. Also, the rat with the ring, Why did they not think of a bat immediately?
I have that written down too. Like it seems so. It literally rhymes.
They
It
yeah
seems
they
so obvious.
they literally they went to a pigeon first and were like, oh, maybe it's the penguin.
I
Like,
know.
what?
And then it's Falcone. It's like, and then the penguin's like, didn't you ever think of a bat? Like it's you.
Yeah. And he's like, oh.
Of
But
course.
okay, that didn't. So it was Falcone though. He was the rat.
Right. Yeah.
So it wasn't the bat.
Mhm.
And a rat with wings is a falcon all of a sudden.
I don't know.
Falcon seems a little bigger than a rat.
Yes. And like cool.
Yeah, like a rat is like this
Like
stinky,
bats
dirty
aren't cool.
animal.
Pigeons aren't cool.
Yeah.
Falcons are really cool.
And they could have done it. They could have done a better clue than that. Make something else in
Mhm.
Spanish, you know?
Mhm.
Weird. And the
Also,
whole
they never explained the law and
I was about to
I
say.
still don't know what the
I
difference is.
was gonna say, I was like, why did they point that out? They
I
were
know.
like, it's law, you idiot, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, we found the clue. It's like, what?
Yeah. I was like, I have no idea what the difference is.
No, they were like, it's law, and they're like, all right, time to go. Time to go to Falcone. It's like, what?
That made no sense to me.
Yeah, I didn't.
But yeah, that was like they spent so long trying to figure that out, which was annoying.
For it not to allude to a lot of things.
That was the other major issue I had with this movie is it felt like there were multiple different plot lines that like didn't come together really. Like the plot line
What do
with
you mean?
Catwoman and like the mob boss, like that had no effect on the rest of the movie.
What do you mean? Because he found
Even-
out Falcone killed the person. He was also the person that she was looking for.
Right, but like what effect did that have? Like what effect did that whole storyline have on like the end of the movie? Like
Well,
the missing friend and everything?
I don't know. I think it was just to have her have a story, you know?
Right, but why?
Because do you just want her to show up? Hey, I'm Catwoman. What's up?
That's what she does in Dark Knight Rises. She shows up, steals a few things, and then like helps him.
Yeah, but isn't she in? She's in the Dark Knight, is she not? Oh
Yeah.
no, you're right. She does just show up in the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
I don't
Like it
so-
literally
yeah,
feels like
but
it added 30 minutes onto a movie that's already too long.
I don't know. I also don't think it was too long. Hot take. I thought it was.
I think it was way too long.
I think it doesn't feel like 3 hours.
It does to me. Because
Really?
at one point I paused it and I was like, oh, how much do I have left? And it was an hour and a half. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm halfway through. In the theater, it didn't. No, it still felt long. I mean, it's interesting the whole way. It's not like there are lulls.
Yeah,
Like,
no, there's no stopping.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't need so many plot lines at once. And the stuff about Thomas Wayne, like that didn't seem necessary to me.
That I agree.
Like, why do they have to make him a bad guy?
Yeah,
I get because it's because he's going after Bruce, but like either way, Bruce is just a billionaire who literally sits there and does nothing. I feel like that's enough for
yeah,
him to be
for the
targeted.
Riddler
They
to
didn't
be
have to make his
targeted.
dad a bad guy.
That's true. I agree with that.
So then that's a whole nother plot line where he has to go talk to Falcone and Alfred and all that.
I don't know. Maybe it was just to like grow the.
I say slash it all.
They definitely could have slashed a lot of things. So let's talk about the third act. Seems like the most controversial part of this movie because people don't know if it's good or bad. It turned into Fight Club all of a sudden. Like, remember in Fight Club where it's like,
Yep.
oh yeah, by the way, we have bombs. They're about to blow up
Mhm.
half the city.
Yeah.
Like, the Riddler was like, yeah, I killed all these people. By the way, I have bombs and we're about to blow up
Yeah,
half the
right.
city.
And a whole army. It's like ready to go.
Yeah, 500 people ready to go. There's a lot of questions on that one.
So the big one for me was how do all of those guys get into Madison Square Garden on election night with machine guns and climb to the top and no one bats an eye?
And
That's like the big one for me that I just can't get past.
I just can't get past like how many people died. How many people got
Yeah,
flooded?
right.
And like there's no way cuz let's look at the capacity of Madison Square Garden.
2018 maybe.
And like you got to add some more cuz they're standing in the court. Yeah, like
Mhm.
20,000. But all of Gotham City is way more than 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
So there had been so many people just completely screwed. Completely
Also,
screwed.
are we sure that like the bombs in the vans would be able to cause that much flooding?
That's the
Like I
other thing.
know it was on the seawall, but like really,
Also,
it flooded the whole city.
why the hell would you
You know
go
how
into
big that city is?
why the hell would you go into Madison Square Garden if it's flooding? It's
I don't
literally
know.
underground. It's a dip underground. Why would you go in underground to go?
No idea.
Also, is this the worst thing to happen to Madison Square Garden since the Knicks lost in the playoffs 2 years ago?
Probably.
Yeah. Maybe it's the best thing that happened to Madison Square Garden since the Knicks lost in the playoffs 2 years ago.
I think if you gave the people of New York an option of having the Knicks win with a flood, or no win and no flood, they'd probably take former.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree. All right, but yeah, that whole third act, it was like I got the message, like and that's where it differed from the Dark Knight, where it was the Dark Knight was all about, oh, Harvey needs to be the hero, I'll be the villain, so we can get this corruptness out of here. And in this, I guess there was, yeah, great scene. In this, I guess there was just too much corruptness. He was like, all right, I'll just make myself the hero.
I guess so.
And
but at the end of the day, like still so many people died.
Oh yeah, and it's where did like with the flare, like where did he lead them?
It's a great question.
It's a
He also just takes like a dive from the top and lands and just pops right back up.
And he gets electrocuted at the dive. Just gets right back up.
And injects himself with like
Bane
rabies.
serum. Bane serum. I like that scene. I thought that scene was great.
It is cool. He just injects and then
yeah,
and he means business.
It
beats the pulp out of that guy.
Also, that guy's face is way more messed up than when they show it. He punched him so hard so many times. There's no way his face is intact.
He'd probably be dead.
Yeah, there's no way his face is intact. With Bane serum? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Alright. What was your favorite scene?
It's a small one, but at the end of the car chase.
Oh, that's my favorite scene.
Is flipped upside down.
That's my favorite scene.
And he's walking through the flames. That scene is so cool.
It's that's the movie poster scene, as we all see if you had the poster. The that scene, I even gave it a little extension. The whole end of the car chase, where it's like the penguin, I got you, yeah, I got you, and and then he comes out of the flames, and then just flips him, so cool. And then it's the coolest scene in the movie, definitely.
Yeah, when the car comes through, and then when he's walking, and it's from the penguin's perspective.
Yeah, and it's upside down,
and it's so cool.
Definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
I could watch that over and over again.
Damn, shame we didn't. We have the same scene, but that's all right. Seems like it happens all the time.
It's not that surprising.
No, it really isn't. Okay, so this is a little nitpick I had. Did you see? I'm just looking through my notes randomly now, but the DA when he had the phone strapped up to his hand, they had one strip of duct tape around his fingers. I could have easily just popped my finger open and gotten out of that phone. He still would have been
that wouldn't have helped anything.
No, it wouldn't have helped at all. He just wouldn't have had the phone stuck taped to his hand. But
all right, so that's actually another one of my favorite scenes. Not because I thought it was cool, but because when they go on FaceTime, and there's a little like self camera of Batman's face, just like looking.
Oh yeah,
at the camera. It's so funny.
Yeah, and I like how the Riddler uses social media. He uses FaceTime. This is all things that, of course, weren't they weren't invented when the other Batman movies were out. But it was a good, since it is in this, I guess it's supposed to be in this kind of time frame, that it makes sense that a villain would use that to get followers.
FaceTime.
Yeah, and FaceTime to like talk to them remotely, and it's better than some like, oh, this is the bat communicator or whatever, and it's like this is how we're gonna talk to him.
So, how realistic do you think it is for basically a terror cell of 500 guys to be operating online and to be able to pull this off? Like, that didn't seem... First of all, the fact that so many people could be on board with it.
Yeah, there can't be that many lonely orphans hanging out around Gotham, right? Like, there can't be 500 of them hanging
Right.
around Gotham. And what's up with this encrypted like website that did he give that out to people? Did he just like know that these people were his boys?
Hmm. Yeah, it feels like that easily should have been shut down. But
Yeah,
maybe not.
and like by the government. Like
I mean, maybe like the darkest of the dark web.
I guess. And like but like that all I thought about was like where's like the government? Like this is like a terrorist attack on a politician.
So, well, Gotham City is basically like its own little city state. I don't think that they communicate with the rest of the world until the end when they're like, "Oh, the National Guard's coming in," because the whole
Finally.
and like all the stuff, it's like on the mayor, and it's like, how much power does this mayor have?
Oh yeah, the mayor
Like,
is
it's
everything.
one city.
Yeah, the mayor's everything.
So
Actually,
the mayor ranks below the governor and the president of the United States. So like, how much can they really do in this city? But apparently they're God.
Falcone runs the city. Don't you know that?
Okay, and he does run the city, yeah.
So, did you know that the Penguin's getting his own TV show?
Did not know that. With
Yeah.
that actor?
Yep, with that actor in the same, I guess, universe. I think it's justified. I think he's a good character in the movie, and could see him. I don't know. They're gonna have to figure out what to do with him, because like
Right.
if he's not yelling at Batman or getting chased by Batman, don't really know what the Penguin does. But I am excited to see that. I feel if it's the same writers, if it's Matt Reeves and it's the same directors, they'll figure out something cool to do with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting. What's it gonna be on?
HBO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sense.
Which is actually also good because that means they could just do whatever they want. HBO doesn't have
Right.
any rules.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's talk about the hang gliding, or not the hang gliding, but the wingsuit scene.
Eyes.
Huh?
I like when they zoom in on his face.
Yeah, he's just like,
He's flying.
and he's like scared as hell, doesn't know what he's doing.
Mhm.
So he like I know it's his first time using that suit. Clearly, like you can see he's super nervous when he does it. How do you see a bridge coming and go, all right, this is when I'm gonna pull out my parachute? Like he doesn't. Does he
Zero.
not understand basic physics? He sees the bridge coming.
There's
And goes,
a lot
all
of
right,
this
perfect.
movie defies
Foosh.
basic physics.
Well,
I
that's
think.
true. Considering he gets slammed on the ground afterwards and just gets up like he's fine.
That suit must be
It must be the most
like
protective.
coated with armor.
Oh, he gets shot with like 2 feet in
A
front of him.
12 gauge in the
Yeah.
chest, and it's like, oh, ouch.
Yeah, he's like, man, that hurt.
All right. Also, jumping around scenes, and then when Catwoman comes up to him and it's like, it's over. It's gonna be
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
It's like, oh, it's far from
Yeah,
over.
I was like, I was like, man, where do you think this is over? Like this, the ground is still flooding. There's
Yeah.
500 masked criminals running around. This is far from over. And then, of course, the scene that everyone saw coming, she just gets bopped on the back of the head after that. She wasn't much help either, honestly. She was kind of a pain in the
Didn't
ass.
she come in and save him there though?
She did save. I guess she did save him.
Like, wasn't he gonna?
Yeah. He was gonna fall there.
Didn't the guy? Yeah.
But other than that, she was kind of a pest.
That's. Yeah.
Like they're
Well,
doing,
also
they're
they,
doing
like,
their
they-
drug stakeout or whatever, and they're like looking at stuff and they're like, oh shit, now Catwoman's here, fucking things up. And then Falcone, they're trying to kill him before he brought him to the light. Like, gee,
Mhm.
Catwoman. I thought she did a great job though. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like
this
yeah,
Catwoman
no,
a
she
lot.
did. She was a good Catwoman. The like half-assed romantic scenes with her, it's like they did that in The Dark Knight Rises too. They're just like, run away with me. It's like, what? Like you don't even know who he is. Like what kind of girl goes around kissing guys in bat costumes?
I think it's just funny too that like she says all these things. She's like holding onto his chest and like says all these things, and there's it's just complete
just
silence
nothing.
and death stare by Batman every time.
Yeah, and the one time she's like, oh, what did she say? She's like, I want to know what like the real you is like blah blah blah, or are you just
Yeah, you just like
scarred, and he
hideously
just
scarred.
goes,
And he goes hideously scarred.
yes.
Yeah. I thought that was a great scene. It was just like Batman doesn't give a shit.
He really
care
doesn't
at all about your feelings, about anyone.
But she's not Rachel.
No, you're right. It's not
Who,
Rachel.
by the way, will she be making an appearance at some point?
I don't think so. She seems like just a Nolan character because I don't think she was even in the comics of Rachel.
No.
But I could be wrong. I don't believe that she's in any of the comic books.
Okay.
But yeah, poor Rachel. Who I want to see is I need to see Robin.
Mm-hmm.
We've had enough live action movies without Robin. We need to bring him back.
Well, they in The Dark Knight Rises, they kind of tried to make a Robin.
Yeah, I remember.
It didn't really.
But they didn't.
It wasn't actually Robin.
Yeah, he was just a cop that had the name
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah, he wasn't like a sidekick.
Which the kid doesn't have. His name's not Robin. The character's name is Robin. That wouldn't make much sense. Be like, oh, I wonder who Batman and Robin is. I bet Robin's Robin.
Yeah, right. Oh, what's his name? Dick something.
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson.
Yeah. They need to do some sort.
That would have been way better if they were like.
Yeah, they're like.
Go by real name. Dick.
Yeah, they actually would have been better. People would have liked that. I feel like would have liked that better. But they did like the whole little kid stuff, which implies that he wants to have someone to look after, I guess, and like a little Robin. And I guess he sympathizes.
What, when he's looking at the kid?
Yeah, and he sympathizes
because
with
the kid reminds him of
Yes, it reminds him of
himself.
himself. Yeah, I got that too. But I don't know. There's a lot of elements of Batman that need Robin in it. It's it's a whole complicated thing. But I don't know. They need a Robin at some point, and they can do it without being this cheesy, pre-tween that ruins the whole movie. They can keep it in the same theme and have a Robin. That's the other thing. I don't know if they can. Maybe they can't keep it in the same theme.
It's a tough line to skirt.
It is because it's such a
just
dark
the Robin
version
costume
of Batman.
too.
Yeah.
It's so.
It's so bright and not
comically.
Yeah, and it's not. It doesn't seem like it fits in this world that we've depicted so far.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess.
So yeah, I don't know if you can try, but it might come off very poorly.
That's the issue because you can have once you have the Robin, it's you can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
It's you can't
unless you just have him killed.
Yeah, that's true. But then it's a slippery slope with Robin. But hopefully we get to see some Boy Wonder soon. All right, let me look through all the screens that I got. How do we have less followers than the Riddler? The guy's literally a terrorist. Guys, we make podcasts twice a week, and this guy's terrorizing.
And he's been around for less time too.
Yeah, he's around for
did all that in a week.
Honestly, gets way more followers.
It's year 4. The Wise Guys. Another thing about the Riddler. Have you ever played Trivia Murder Party on Jackbox?
Remind me of the rules.
Well, you know what Jackbox is,
yeah.
Right? So it's like a trivia game. And when you get one right, you advance, and if you don't, you die, and then you play a mini game or something.
Oh, I did it.
There's
that.
Yeah. Do you know what the narrator sounds like?
No.
Because I feel like the Riddler voice was literally copied and pasted from that game. It's exactly what that sounds like.
His voice is so I don't even know how to describe it. It's so whiny and this just you could tell this guy is just you could tell all right, this guy's got nothing going on.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
No, I mean his masked voice.
Oh, okay, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what the guy's voice sounds like, but
it's exactly.
I believe you. Maybe they did. Maybe it was inspiration from the murder mystery of Jackbox. I thought Paul Dano did a good job as the Riddler. I thought he did a good job.
I don't know. He was so young.
Yeah.
He looked like such a boob.
I think that was kind of the point, though. He was supposed to look like a boob.
Why?
Because
he wasn't cool at all.
No, but that's kind of the point of his character. It's not like you. I don't know. Did you want the Riddler to be cool?
Yeah. I want every villain to be cool.
That's true. All right.
I mean, I guess this was also you didn't know who he was the whole time.
Yeah, and it's not like you saw him running around without the mask
mm-hmm.
throughout the whole movie. And
That's fair.
Cryptic, I don't know, kept him cryptic, kept him the whole mystery behind it, which I guess was the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like he wasn't like fearful.
Mm-hmm.
Once you unmask him, of course he wasn't. But like,
the videos, that's
yeah,
from the Dark Knight. The Joker does that.
Yes, he does do that.
Where he's like torturing people and takes videos.
Yeah.
The rat thing was a bit unsettling.
Yeah, the rats eating the guy's face was pretty messed up. I love the scene with the pen. Why are you showing me that? Ah!
Goes, look at it.
Yeah, look at it.
Open your eyes. That is a great scene.
That's
He's a mob boss. Like, give me.
Yeah, I know. He hasn't seen worse. Like, and I guess like no one wants to see that anyway. Even if you have seen worse, no one wants to see that. But like,
still,
come on now.
That was really funny.
All right. I like how Gordon the whole time too is like, this is my buddy, Batman.
I actually wrote down at one point that there was like so much sexual tension between those two. Like, if there was gonna be a romantic storyline, that's it. Like, Gordon's like, or Batman's like, do you trust any of them?
He's like, I only trust you.
Like, just kiss already. Jeez.
And it's funny. It's like, dude, you've been working in the police force for 20 years, and you don't trust any of them. Not even my man Martinez, which great character. Love Martinez.
Yeah.
Every scene, especially like, he comes in as Bruce Wayne, and he's like, Martinez like, I love you, Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
I love that.
He's perfect in every scene. Like they get Falcone, who locks him up. Martinez, like he's just there. He's talking about reliable. We were talking about top 10 running backs.
Yeah, seriously.
He's reliable.
And when he shows up, he's like, "Hey man, like, what are you doing in here?"
Yeah,
that's there. He's like, "All right."
Yeah, he's like, whatever. And he's like, I don't think
he
you
like
should be
helps
doing
him
that.
a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think you should.
He's
be
like,
doing
"Oh, my
that.
uncle did installation."
Yeah, he calls it. He's like, he calls it by what it is. Batman just looks at him and he's like, whoa. My uncle did installation. It's like, all right. No one was blaming you for murdering these people. I thought it was an ice cutter. I wrote down, I was like, damn, killing someone with an ice cutter is like, that's so fucked.
Yeah.
It's like bashed someone on the head with that thing. And Tucker's worse.
Big leagues.
Man, imagine you get tuckered by someone. That would suck. All right.
Everybody uses the word chief for some reason.
Especially Gordon.
Which I don't get.
Gordon's
like
using
all
chief
the cops do. They're like,
it.
"What are you doing here, chief?" It's like, all right, you just lost all credibility. That prison scene is so funny though, when he's just like beating up the cops.
Oh yeah, he's just
guy's
swinging
like,
him around.
I got you on account for assaulting an officer. He's like, actually, I assaulted 3.
And the best is he's talking to someone about he's like, you could be tied into all this, and he goes, you could be tied into all of it. And the guy's like, what are you from? Whoa. So that scene, I kind of liked it. Like, I thought that was a good scene, even though it was a little like unbelievable, a little ridiculous. But I like the scene where it's like, and he's like, look, just give me a minute. It was a perfect setup for him to escape. It's like, give me a minute with him, and then we're just gonna basically let you go.
Yeah.
And
well, really, the whole movie, it's like, if you don't look too much into it, it's like really good.
Oh well,
if you start trying to nitpick the scenes, it can get a little dicey.
It can get a little hairy, but it's a superhero movie and it's an action movie, so that's kind of the point. But you're right. This in general, I really enjoyed. I love this movie. I love this movie. I was excited to watch it again, and leaving it, I was very satisfied as much as I was the first time. I was gonna say, I like when he goes, you couldn't have pulled that punch back there. I did. Anytime Batman says anything, just as like three words in a sentence, that's all I need. Just like one sentence from Batman at a time. That's all I need.
He did. I will say, as much as I didn't like him as Bruce Wayne, he was a perfect Batman.
Yeah, he really played
like
a great Batman.
At least, because that's exactly what I want out of Batman. To just say nothing.
Yeah, say nothing, stare, beat the crap out of people. It's funny that he's like he's British.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's so is Colin Farrell, I'm pretty sure, and Alfred, and I don't know about Gordon, but it's like everyone in this movie, no one in this movie is like American, and they all have like these great accents that really portray it really well. I like the
Alfred is not old enough, by the way. While we're on him,
yeah, he looks like he doesn't look old enough. I agree.
Alfred is Michael Caine.
Yeah, he
no
always
other
like,
Alfred.
he's always
he'll the
never
best
top.
performance in that series, outside the Joker.
I do think he did a good Alfred.
He was fine.
He was a fine Alfred. Nothing,
he wasn't in it much though.
No, but he didn't need to be, because he wasn't like the Michael Keaton where he's actually like helping him. He kind of almost disapproved of it, which was a good twist on it, because it's always like Alfred just like, oh yes, Mr. Wayne, you know, and it's like, he kind of like, you know.
Well, there's also no Lucius Fox.
Yeah, there is no Lucius Fox.
Ooh, is he a comics character, or is he a Christopher Nolan character?
I think he is. I'm looking it up right now. I'm not sure. Yeah, Lucius Fox. Okay, he is. He is a comic book character.
Okay.
But I don't know if he's as pivotal as he was in the. Like, it's not like he's Batman's right-hand man every time.
Right.
In the comics. Apparently, he apparently became Batman in 2020. Good for Lucius Fox.
What?
Yeah, apparently he became Batman 2020 in the comic book.
What do you mean he became Batman? Oh, in the comic.
Oh, never mind. His son did. Tim Fox. Okay, doesn't matter. That's all comic book stuff. Anyways, what else we got? That's kind of all I got.
I just have like a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah, things about the scenes that we were watching.
When he's looking in the window, that's really creepy.
Of
and he's like watching Catwoman.
Yeah, that is.
She like starts changing, and he's just zoned in.
Oh yeah, zoned in. Nothing makes him look away. He doesn't care.
But like, yeah, he's almost like too socially unaware for it even to be creepy.
Yeah, he's just like, what?
And then later he's like, oh yeah, when you were at your house earlier. She's like, what?
Yeah, and he was like, and I was watching you the whole time.
I was watching you. You got a great body.
Also, the one thing I gotta nitpick too is, what's up with this voicemail that just gives away everything that they need in the movie? Where was this earlier? Like they remember Catwoman? They find the DA.
Oh yeah.
She's like, oh, I got my phone back, and there's also just convenient voicemail that just gives us everything
like
we
she
need
just
to know.
she just happened to call her while she was getting murdered.
Yeah, and like my dad, I asked my dad while we were watching it, like, what's up with that? And he was like, I don't know, maybe she did it like for protection right before she walked in. Like, oh, let me call my friend. I guess that could be it, but it's like, it just conveniently starts where they say exactly what they need and then ends with her dying.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, I like how it's not like, oh, let's I guess maybe you can't delete voicemails unless it's on the other person's phone. But it's wouldn't they have been like, oh shit, we're getting recorded, and like did something like that? Instead, it just like ends. Like who hung up on the phone?
I don't know.
They just kill her and it ends.
Yeah, right. That's what happens. Like he's getting strangled, and then the message just stops.
Do you think someone is like they're strangling her? Like, oh, this has been on the whole time. Bink.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you couldn't delete it. It would go to the other person. Like as soon as you hit
phone, yeah.
Hang up, I guess. But then, like, you think they'd be like trying to track her down, and it wouldn't be that hard for the mob to figure that out.
And figure out that it's on her phone, right?
Yeah, and she literally just like will show up too. Like, they know who it is, and they can just.
And it's all doesn't Falcone know it's like his daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like
actually, I don't know if he does. He knows he has that daughter, but I don't think he knows that it's her.
Okay, because she did announce it to him later in the movie
when she's about to shoot him, which I don't know how she didn't kill him.
Yeah, she missed by a split second.
She shoots, and then the lights go out.
Convenient, very convenient.
Yeah.
All right, our favorite category, Simp of the Week. It's easy. It's the
Mine's
Riddler.
Jim Gordon.
Oh,
what?
The Riddler is the Simp of the Week.
No.
Him like moaning to Batman and groaning in the jail cell. That's what really sold it for me.
But the Riddler also has other stuff going on. Like he's got his own army of 500 people. Gordon,
That's true. Gordon's just like
one man,
riding the
and it's
coattails.
Batman, and it's the guy in the bat suit who he's never met. He even says he's like, "I've known you for 2 years, man. I don't even know what your name is."
That's true, and he still only
He
trusts
just
him.
goes
All
along
right.
with it.
I like that
Always.
pick better.
I only trust you. I only trust you, Batman.
My defense for the Riddler was just that scene where he's like when he starts crying in the
which is a bit much, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to like the interrogation in the Dark Knight, which great scene.
Oh,
it's
with
like,
him in the Joker. Yeah, no, it's not even
yeah.
close. But him moaning and groaning, that was like, all right, that's.
And then Batman's like so mean to him. He's crying, and Batman's like, "You're nothing. You're nobody." Like, come on.
But you want him to say, "It's all right. It's all right." Don't
it's
cry.
like, Riddler, it's okay. Like, you were just wrong. It's all right.
I like how.
Like, why does he even care that much? The plan's still in place.
No, I don't get it either. I don't get why he wanted, like, Batman. I don't know. I don't get that either.
And I don't understand why he would think he was on his team. Batman feels like a real idiot for, like, now he probably feels like he went along with the whole thing.
Batman was sitting there like, he was like, like, basically, like, when him playing out the riddles was why more murders happen and why this thing's gonna happen. So it's like, I wrote down, he got duped. He got duped. And it's like, he played the game, and he did say it. He was like, it's Riddler's game now. We just have to finish it. So I guess he knew, but he played right into what the Riddler wanted.
Yes, he did.
All right, but I do like the simp of the week being James Gordon.
The best Gordon line that one of the last things I've written down is when they're typing, like he's talking to the Riddler, and he gives him the orphan riddle, and the Riddler's like goodbye, and then like 10 minutes later, Gordon's like, "Wait, you're going after Bruce Wayne." It's like, you got it.
They didn't.
Nice job, Jim.
Also, they didn't get it like, I feel like the sins of the father. Like, yeah, you're right. James Gordon was like, the sins of the father. It's like, what are you talking about? Clearly, it's Bruce Wayne, and they should have. I felt like that whole scene where they showed like it was like the little projector in the movie of Thomas Wayne. Couldn't they like write that? Felt dumb of me. Like, why didn't he just go right to Wayne Manor right when he saw the orphan stuff?
I don't know.
Like, wouldn't you think like they're trying to kill Bruce Wayne right when he saw the orphan thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that was just, have the movie go along, so it's not nitpicking or anything. All right, final ratings of the movie. What do you got?
I know I liked it less than you, of course. I'm gonna give it a 7.2.
7.2? Damn, I was gonna give it like an 8.6, 8.7. It's just like you can nitpick it all you want, but when you boil it down, it's like it's a very entertaining Batman movie.
It is, and it like I love Batman, so I will watch any Batman movie and probably enjoy it, other than maybe like the late or 90s ones, and the Ben Affleck one. Well, that's a completely different.
That's true. It's not even a Batman movie. It's just
there's just like too much corny stuff that I couldn't get past, and the plot line was like a little bit too janky for me. Like there's a bit too much going on at once that I felt like wasn't necessary. But overall, the fight scenes, the actual Batman was awesome. So I still enjoyed it very much.
When you watch it again, I was like going into the thing like, man, maybe I'm just like not as smart as I think I am, but some of these riddles don't make a lot of sense. And then I watched it again, and I was like, they still don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of loose threads that just happen to be tied together, which was nice.
Yeah.
But fair analysis. So where do you think they're going next? Any predictions?
Okay, so we didn't talk about the Joker yet.
Yeah, the Joker. Don't do it.
I mean, like, are we gonna keep trying this?
No, don't do it.
Shouldn't.
I'm all for just don't not even in the third one. Just no Joker at all. We've already seen it, and it's already been perfected. So don't try.
It's perfected, and it's been butchered.
Yeah, and there
And if
I
you
saw.
try it again, you're probably gonna get closer to the latter.
Yes, you're gonna get closer to the Butcher than you are to, yeah. So, and the issue is after Heath Ledger, people stopped playing the Joker and started playing Heath Ledger.
Hmm.
Where it's like the Joker is a completely different. Like he's like even from the Joker in The Dark Knight, it has the same elements and stuff, but he's still like there's multiple Jokers that are completely different. You don't need to be Heath Ledger every time. It doesn't need to be this creepy guy that has all the like all the scars and crap like that. Where in this one, I don't know if you've seen the deleted scene of where he actually talks to Joker.
Mm.
It his face is like fucked.
Really?
Yeah, like his face, it looks like all of it's just like completely burned.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to go back and watch it then.
Yeah, the delete. I mean, it's a cool deleted scene. It's just kind of them talking, but and like the laughs in there. It's all the same stuff that we've seen from Ledger, and it won't be as good. Like I'm telling you,
I mean,
it won't
like
be as
Jack
good.
Nicholson's Joker was completely different,
and it was great, and it was a great Joker. The original ones were great. The Jack Nicholson was great. The and even like the Adam West one where it's like he's like just like the Cesar Romanos, where just like this literally just a goofy guy that just like does crime. It's like that works too, and doesn't need to be this like dark serial killer clown, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But either way, either if they did it the Ledger way or a different way, just don't do any Joker, because nothing's gonna satisfy anyone. So don't do it.
It's already peaked.
I want Mr. Freeze. Let's get him in. Let's get him in there. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know how they could do it any way they wanted, but I feel like Mr. Freeze would work in this world.
Yeah.
And you already have the Penguin.
I think of like the other guys from like the Lego games that I would play that would show up.
There's a really
Killer
cool
Croc.
one. Killer Croc. There's no way they could do Killer Croc. Like after this almost uber realistic movie, and then they come back with Killer Croc.
That would be so funny.
That would be crazy. So I don't know if you ever heard of the Court of Owls, but that's a big rumor of what's coming up next, which is basically it's like the reason why they think it's gonna happen is because it's like this underground where all the cops are corrupt and like stuff like that. So it's basically this like secret it's like the Illuminati or something, only it's all based in Gotham, and they're dressed like owls.
Oh,
it's a great story though. It's good.
Okay.
So that would be cool. I don't know. I just don't want the Joker. That's the only thing I want. There's no Joker. Yeah. And no Bane either. Like, we already saw Bane. Let's get something that we haven't seen.
Bane, perfect.
Bane was done.
Tom Hardy Bane was unbelievable.
It was great. And I think they could do... There's a way that they could do in this, like, darkened... Because, like, I don't know. Everything already seemed creepy in the city. If they did a Scarecrow, I felt like they could pull it off. As much as I love Scarecrow from the first one, I think they could pull it off a Scarecrow.
That villain was not fully developed, though.
The Batman Beyond, or Batman Begins.
Yeah, the Thomas Shelby.
Yeah.
Scarecrow.
Yeah. The best part about that character is that he's in all three of them. That's the only best part about it.
When he's running the court.
Yes, in the Rises.
Yes, it's so funny.
Yeah, so
this is a sentencing court. Death or exile.
Yeah, they could do some sort of Scarecrow, but whatever they do, it'll be, I have faith in it as long as they keep what we're already established, basically. But yeah,
I feel like in trilogies like this, after the first one is when you hit your stride. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Or it goes downhill.
Yeah, no, the second movie's
a lot better
make or
or
break.
a lot worse.
Yeah, second movie's
never
make
like,
or break.
oh yeah, it was about the same. Like, no, word.
No, and I'm excited to see in 10 years or so, whenever all three are done, to be able to compare all three to all three Nolan films. I still think Dark Knight will blow all of them out of the water, but I'm excited to see it. All right, that does it. That's our movie review for The Batman. I'm excited that movies are back. We'll do one next Friday as well. And we'll see everybody on Tuesday, though, because we're still pumping out stuff Tuesdays and Fridays. So see you guys there.